Welcome to today's session. Hi all, thanks everyone for joining. Welcome to today's session. Today we are having Vivek Raja, who's a 15x hackathon winner, and he's also a certified data scientist from Microsoft, and he's a mentor at Codin, and he's also a tech speaker. We are very much happy to have you in this session, Vivek. And today we will be discussing upon the various strategies and roadmap to win your hackathon. So this is about today's session. And once again, I welcome Vivek for joining this session. Thanks a lot for spending your time for this session, Vivek. So
Great.
you can get started.
Okay, great. Okay, thanks for the amazing intro, Maitreya, and I'm very happy to be here. And I'm warm welcome to everyone who is present here. Actually, so this is a Monday evening, and everyone's a bit tired after your work and your college online classes. So if you're here and for the session, thumbs up, and we will get started soon. Great. Okay, so. We will jump into the session right now. Let me share my screen here. Okay, fine. I think my screen is now visible. Is it right? Is it my screen? Okay, fine. It's just visible. Okay, great. Okay, so this session is going to be about strategies and roadmap to win any hackathon. So I would like to give an intro about myself to the ones who are present here. And I'm from Madurai, Tamil Nadu, and I'm pursuing my final year computer science engineering at Mepcosmic Engineering College. As you all know, it's getting quite a bit delayed for the final years, and okay, that's okay. So basically, as this session is about, and I have won around 15 hackathons. Both of national and international scale, and I have participated in over 60 plus hackathons in various places of India, online, virtual hackathon, you name it. I would have most probably participated in that. So sorry if I'm boasting, that's not, but I just want to make a thing. Okay, fine. So I've been I'm a Microsoft certified data scientist associate, and I'm also a data engineer associate. I'm quite active in both mentoring and speaking sessions all over the India. Like I give sessions in my colleges, to other colleges, as well as in other tech companies as well. So if you're an active person who's attending hackathons or maybe a developer groups or conferences, you might have most likely catch me up. So I'm also mentoring at TFUG Coimbatore chapter. I'm also a mentor for TensorFlow at Google Code in 2019. And I have spoken in many occasions where, to be mentioned, I have spoken at Google DevFest 19 about AutoML, and I have spoken in Cloud Community Days and various developer groups across India. Currently, I'm holding a position of chairperson at Google Students Club in my college. And besides all this technical stuff, I love to play guitar. I'm a guitarist, and I'm also in part of my college band. I write essays and articles, both technical and non-technical. And I'm a very big movie and series buff. I watch a lot of movies here, and also I used to play video games as well, as typical any teenage boy or maybe. So we are jumping right into the session, and the first question for anyone who is here is that what is a hackathon? So some might have a clear approach. Maybe okay, you might have attended some hackathon, or maybe you would have come across the word hackathon in your college or in a LinkedIn post, or maybe. So to the ones who are present here and who has a little bit of idea about it, I want to make sure that everyone's in the right step to carry forward. So I'm going to explain from the beginning. So the thing is, what is a hackathon? It is a competitive event, and people usually participate in teams. So, and what they are going to do is they're going to build a software or a hardware solution to solve a given problem statement within a particular period of time. I think this is a definition which is hard to consume. So I will make sure that I will break it down to you step by step and see what the hackathon really means. So the first thing is, it is a competitive event. So as every competitive event, you fight for some a prize or a winning position, or maybe like that. So it is well-defined competitive event, and the participation can be both individual or a group. So it almost in all hackathons, it's going to be a group work, and rarely it is going to be an individual one. So throughout my session, I'll be only dealing with the participation, group participation as well. And the event can be online or offline. So in current situation, most of the hackathons are taking virtual. Before that, most of the hackathons used to be offline. So it is not typically categorized as two, because there might be few stages which can be conducted online, further which the event can be carried forward offline. So I'll be mostly discussing about the offline hackathon, where mostly the first two stages will be taken online, and the final hackathon stage will be taken at some venue where they mention. So that will be our thing. And the solution can be a hardware, software, or just an idea. So as what the hackathon typically means doesn't mean you have to be presenting a solution where only programmers can participate. It does not. Anyone can participate in a hackathon, and the solution need not be a software, but it can also be a hardware prototype, or maybe just an idea. So there are hackathons typically given only for ideas, and the hackathon runs for 24 hours, 36 hours, 48 hours. There are different categories of hackathon. So most probably, if a hackathon is going to be at full scale, so it usually runs for at least these three timelines: 24 hours or 36 hours, 48 hours. I know this timeline sounds to be pretty tiring and other stuff, but I will explain what you will be doing in these 36 hours of hackathon, so that you will be having some clear idea of how to proceed with it. So now I take an assumption that people have some bit of an idea what a hackathon is called. So I guess that will be fine. So this will help you to get along with me in further sessions. So now that we have a clear idea about what is a hackathon, so we need to the next typical question that would arise in your mind is that, why should I attend a hackathon? So before I want to give you the tips and strategies, roadmap, or whatsoever, you must have a motivation or some kind of an expectation from a hackathon, right? So uh, there are billions of benefits of attending a hackathon, and I would like to mention a few. And people who haven't attended a hackathon before, I think these benefits would really drive you to attend your first hackathon after the session. I can guarantee you that. So the thing is that the benefits what you reap by attending a hackathon is you have an added advantage compared to the candidates during an interview process. I had seen this point come alive for my college senior. So I would like to give a small anecdote where there was a senior in my college. There was some interview process going on, and typically what happened is that few candidates had same range of skills. So the technical interview recruiters were very determined to pick only a few. So they had put a constraint that they need the persons who had an attended an hackathon or maybe like that. So, and only after the constraint came into the picture, a few students got a job opportunity really. So if you're taking a resume to any tech companies, name it Google, Microsoft, or whatsoever, if you have a hackathon winning or a participation in your resume, I'm definitely sure you have a very big advantage over the other candidates in the interview process as well. And what personal benefits do you get is that you will have a very good increase in problem solving skills. So typically what the hackathon is that you need to they give a problem, and they'll be like asking you to find a solution, right? So yeah, so that will gradually help you to increase the problem solving skills. And what it is going to be is that next is research skills. You might have a question why the research area is coming to into hackathon. So I will put that into a little bit later of a session that will give a clear idea. And the next thing is a presentation. Yeah, not only you're not going to code, but you're also going to present your idea or a solution. So with the presentation of skills, that is going to be a big part in your hackathon process. So presentation skills is going to be improved. And next thing's mentoring. Yeah, you'll be mentoring among your teammates, or you'll be guiding other teammates, or you'll be guided by other members. So mentoring is one of the main skills you will be acquiring through the process. And the leadership. So if you are a team member or a team leader, that will definitely increase your leadership skills. So you'll be like guiding the persons what to do and what not to do. You'll be like taking a quick decisions during a phase of an hackathon, what need to be done to make sure that you are pushing your team into the winning stage. So leadership skills plays a very vital role in among all the other skills here. So I will say why it is more important in the following session, but keep in mind that leadership skill, it is going to be improved if you're going to take places and hackathon. And obviously, coming to the last skill is not in this list is that the teamwork. So as I mentioned that we will be mostly focusing on a group-based hackathon. So teamwork is a very, very crucial part. That is a winning element. I can say that is a winning element in your hackathon process. So teamwork is a very must. And what you'll be like gaining is that you'll be having gaining a knowledge in your domain, software, and hardware technologies. So if you're participating in a hackathon which focuses on food, or maybe what to say, like it is participating on a bot service or something like that, your domain knowledge on the particular thing is surely going to be improved if you're working on it. And that is definitely connected to the skill, that is a research skill, and the domain is very much interrelated and go hand in hand. And next thing is a hardware and software technology. Obviously, if you're working on a project, you have a drastic increase in your learning curve. The best benefit you reap from your hackathon participation is networking. Yes, networking plays a very, very vital role, because what you'll be having a chance to interact with the other team members, or the mentor, or the reviewers, organizers, or maybe even a big shot for the company. Maybe you will be having a chance to interact with the CEO of the company itself. And that happened actually. So yeah. And what the coming to the winning part, and you'll be, if you're winning a hackathon, probably you'll be obviously receiving a prize. So what will be the prize consisting about is that it not only a cash prize, it can be your swags, it can be a placement offer as well. And why I said the placement offer is that I had also got a placement offer just by winning a hackathon, and that happened. So companies usually hire through hackathons. So that is one of the secretive hiring platform is hackathon. I can guarantee you that people will be scouting for the talented developers, or the people who need for their company. So they'll be definitely scouting their talents inside the hackathon premises. So feel that is your interview arena. So you can do well, that you get noticed by the recruiters as well. And the startup investment. So if you're a person who is interested in entrepreneurship, hackathon is a very great platform. If you have watched series like Silicon Valley, I think most of them would have watched. So the team would be like presenting at TechCrunch, and they'll be getting a opportunity, and they'll be getting an investor for their product. So there is a very big chance of getting your angel investor through hackathon. And exit to industry. So I will just skip this this term to a later part, because I need to like explain why you need to exit your solution to a company, and that really matters. And your idea solution cannot only stop as an idea, but it can also convert into a research publication, patent, and etc. So I think as of now, everything is going quiet. Great. Okay. I just want to make sure that everything's going good. Okay, fine. So now that I have given you most of the points to consume, I think I want to slow down a little bit here. So let me just pull you back to the things we have seen right now. So for the people who are coming here first, so what I have been delivering is that I just mentioned what is a hackathon. So just it is a place where developers or a group of people meet, and they compete for a solution for a particular problem they're trying to solve. So that obviously, by participating in a hackathon, you get a lot of benefits that include skills and offers, prizes, cashes, and everything. So that is what I've seen. So now comes to the roadmap of what we are going to deal with a hackathon. So I think now you should be very keen to what I'm about to say, because this is where your hackathon process starts right now. So I will just divide the hackathon into three stages. So that is one is pre-hackathon, and during second stage is during the hackathon, and third one is post-hackathon. So I'll be discussing in very detail what you need to do in each of these stages to make sure that you have a solid position to win any hackathon. So the phrase which I want to mention is that the most important stage of any hackathon is pre-hackathon. I guess you might have just get confused a little bit, because we need to present our idea at hackathon stage, right? So why does a pre-hackathon matters a lot? Because that is where your 90% of your input and your efforts goes in. So what we need to do during the pre-hackathon is that there are different ways to approach a solution for a hackathon, and we'll be discussing about how to do that and in the following steps here. So the first thing is we need to the first stage is that checking the authenticity of a hackathon. So before checking what is a hackathon, so you need to go and apply for register for a hackathon. So you can typically find your hackathons in sites like hackereth.com, TechGig, and even Skillenza and many more. So I'm not a marketing person for the companies. Usually I attend hackathons from their website as well. So you can really go and check it out, because they have an authenticity associated with their hackathon. So what I mean by the authenticity is that I will be explaining in pretty soon. So the second step of your pre-hackathon is your team formation and registration. So once you have found a hackathon and you have confirmed that it is a good hackathon, it is conducted by an organizer that is a well-known organizer, and you are good to go to attend that hackathon. So you need to form your team for that hackathon. So there are a few limits of forming the team formation and registration. Once you have cleared that step, so you have registered for the hackathon, you are set. So next thing is the problem statement analysis. Usually people used to give the theme of the hackathon beforehand itself, but they might not reveal the real problem statement until you reach the final hackathon. So I will just discuss a majority scenario where they will be releasing the problem statement beforehand. So what you have to do is you need to pick up the right problem statement for your team, as well as what the solution you can think for, and you need to analyze what the problem statement is trying to convey you. And the tips, what you need to know about the problem statement, we'll be looking in your thing. So the next thing is the domain research work. Out of all these steps of pre-hackathon stage, domain research work is what is the most important part of the whole thing, because that is going to determine how well you are going to fix your winning solution. And once you have done with your you have a basic idea of getting a solution and so on, so stuff for a problem statement, you need to start drafting a solution. You can just draft it in a simple text, or maybe a flowchart or something like that. And once that is done, you need to start preparing a prototype for your presentation, for your solution. Prototype is not typically a product you're going to present. So it's not a science fair project. Okay, so you're not going to make a volcano lava project beforehand in your home and going to take it to present it. It is not an exhibition, it is a hackathon. You need to build your solution at the hackathon. You need to make sure of that. And how important is the building of the hackathon at solution at the hackathon matters will be like, I'll be stressing on that point in the coming session. So the first step of the pre-hackathon stage is that the checking the authenticity of the hackathon. So you need to be very careful about which hackathon you need to attend, because there are situations happen where the hackathon may be a scam. I'm not mentioning about the people, or I'm not directly pointing out to any companies or the organizers, but there are few people who conduct hackathon which is not much of an authenticity, that does not have the transparency in their the conduction of the hackathon. So you need to be very careful about which hackathon you're going to participate. Why is that? Because you need to like invest your time and efforts and your energy to this hackathon to make sure that it is worth it. Don't take a moment or a day to research about who is conducting the hackathon and what are the how is hackathon progressing, and what will be the next stages in the hackathon, and so on. If possible, you can also contact the organizer in direct to get the details about which you're not clear about. So that is always welcome. You need to first make sure that your hackathon is perfectly fine to attend. Only then you need to proceed to the next stage. So the second thing is eligibility. I have done this mistake a lot of times. So I had participated when I'm a student, but still I had participated in professional hackathon. So I had got rejected at few times while participating in professional hackathon. So you need to make sure that what's the eligibility to attend the hackathon. So it may be a student only hackathon, or it may be professional only hackathon, or maybe it is a mixed type. You need to also like consider the gender. I'm not making a inequality here, so there might be a little constraint. So to make sure that girls participate in hackathon, there is a constraint, like you need to have at least 2 members of girls in your team, and so on, so that. So to make sure that those eligibility meet, you need to like sit and work it out. You need to like make sure that your eligibility is perfectly fine before registering for the hackathon. And the level of hackathon. So it might be a college level hackathon where your students might have conducted, or it may be a national level hackathon or international level hackathon. So the difficulty and the level of the review and so on so will be a little bit tough as the level goes. So obviously, like as everything works. So next one is the venue, travel, and stay reimbursement. So coming to like there is a part of the hackathon where you need to first present a solution. You need to give a draft. They'll be shortlisting you, and they'll be taking you to the final hackathon stage. So the venue must be reachable to you, and it should not clash with your existing dates and so on. So that you need to make sure that of that. So if the organizer is looking you to get a particular authorization letter from your college or your working company, you need to make sure to get that, because that falls into eligibility criteria as well. So for typically I had missed a few hackathons because the venue which I need to attend for the finals was unreachable for me. There was a constraint because I got shortlisted for a hackathon, but the finals was going to be held at Udaipur, Rajasthan. But I had my semester exams in 2 days, so obviously I need to miss that hackathon. So you need to make sure that the dates don't clash with your hackathon and the venue is reachable to you. And the next thing is travel and stay reimbursement. So if you are going to another state or city or maybe in another college, you need to make sure that the hackathon organizers give you the right travel and stay reimbursement. So I'm not asking every organizer should do that, but typically if you give you that, that is well and good, because that maybe you can take it as an investment. So you need to travel, and there is a concern for your safety as well. So to make sure that these any difficulty doesn't happen to you, so you need to make sure that the required travel arrangements and trade reimbursements are made by the organizer. If not, you can collaborate with the organizer to make sure that your travel and your stay is smooth. And the next important thing is the IP holder of your solution. So what that mean is that, so if you are participating in a hackathon and you're presenting a solution, once that hackathon gets over, so there might be constraint that the company or the organizer who is conducting hackathon will be automatically the IP holder of your solution. What does the IP holder mean? Means that intellectual property. So even if your solution yours, so if the organizer claims to be, if as one of the rules in as per the use terms and condition, if they mention that the IP of the solution you are presenting goes to the company or the organizer, you should not definitely participate in the hackathon, because the solution is yours and you must be the IP holder of the solution. So if any hackathon claims to get your IP solution, I recommend you not to participate in the hackathon and the benefits you reap. And obviously, I have discussed this earlier, but yeah, you need to ask yourself a question. So, it is really worth to spend your time and efforts for this hackathon. So, those benefits and you reap from that hackathon must answer to your question. So, if these are all, if you're checklisting all these, and if it is well and good, you're proceed to go for the hackathon. So the next thing is the team formation and registration. It is team formation is as much as crucial about how much winning factor you add to your solution. So you need to, like, if you're a leader, you need to pick your team, or if you're willing to join a team, you must make sure that the team members are well known to you, or maybe, or you can collaborate with them and easily work on it. So the team picking plays a very important part. Like, it can be your college members or colleagues from your work, or maybe it can be a stranger, but make sure that they contribute to the solution. Or if you're a part of the team, you must also contribute to the solution. So you should not be a dead weight to your team. So that you need to make sure that the team you're picking must be well and good. And you need to register well before the deadline. So you must be at the first stage of the hackathon. You'll be asked to submit a solution draft for your the problem statement. So make sure that you do all the stuff well before the deadline. So that makes a good impression of your team to the organizers. Well before, in the sense, I'm not asking you to do that a week before or a month before of the deadline, but what I mean is that do not miss the deadline, because you need to again contact the organizer about asking them to allow you to participate in the hackathon and so on. So do not give that pressure to your organizers, so that make sure you plan your schedule of whatever you do well ahead and do within the deadline. And do not pay for the registration. So that also comes along with the authenticity of the hackathon. So most of the hackathons doesn't require you to pay to enter the hackathon, but make sure that you don't pay, because you are presenting your idea to a larger scale. So you need not spend your money to do that. So almost 95% of the hackathons are free. So make sure you pick a free one and assign roles within the team. So yeah, so imagine you're doing a web development project. So you must typically fix the roles of the team members. So maybe one can be the front end guy, and one can be the back end guy, one can be the algorithms and presentation guy, and one can be the DevOps guy, and so on. So you need to, like, make sure that you collaborate as a team and work together. So if you're assigning a person as a front-end developer, doesn't mean he has to do all the work. You need to, like, you can share the responsibilities, you can ask for the help within your team member, and you can also assist another member. So that is what crucial thing makes. So what is that? So if you're playing a football and you are assigned to a role of a defender, or maybe a forward, or a center, or whatsoever, or goalkeeper, doesn't mean you do the entire job to yourself. So there might be some occasions where you need to go, if you're a defender, there might be a situation where you need to go forward, or maybe there might be a situation where you need to fall back from a attacker to a defender, and so on. So these will be very agile and dynamic in nature. So make sure you adopt to it. So this adoption of the team thing will only come if you pick the team members of your own choice, or maybe if the team members are known to you, because you can easily interact with them, communicate with them, and work together. And the third thing is the problem statement. So typically the organizer or the company which is conducting the hackathon will be releasing the themes. Let me give quite a bit of an example. So for example, one of the widely attended hackathons in India is Smart India Hackathon. So they'll be like under a ministry or an industry, they'll be giving a theme or a problem statement. So there will be multiple themes. For example, if it is a food safety is a theme, there might be multiple problem statements within that theme. So for example, if it is a food safety, they might be asking you to build a web app to make sure the crops are not infected, or maybe they're asking you to build a dashboard so that the farmers can communicate with the required authorities to help them with their crops, so and so. So you need to like go through every problem statement within the theme, and you need to like just give a while solution to that theme, to the problem statement you are occurring. So for example, if I'm going to build a dashboard for the farmers, what should I mean features should I include? So I can include since farmers are, most of them are illiterate, so I can give a voice call feature for that for them. They can just call and talk to the authorities in their local language, or maybe they can if they are having a smartphone, we can also ask them to click a picture and send to the authorities. You can also give an insight about what the picture contains and what we need to do, so that the process between the hackathon and the authorities goes well. So this is what you need to guess like for the solution for your problem statement. So give a wild and basic solution for your for the problem statement, then you can refine and improvise in the later section. So that is the thing. So once that, if the for the while gets of your as I'll come back to the same solution, so you're building that dashboard for your farmer, so you need to identify the technology. So I'm going to use a camera facility to take a picture of the crop. So you need a camera, and you need to send that picture to your authority, so you need an internet service, and you need to make sure that the constraint, so will there be internet available at all parts of the India in a rural place? That's a questionable constraint, right? So you need to also constrain like come up with the constraint through this. So what you have to do is you need to sit in the group and discuss about the problem statement, so and give a wildest and craziest of idea, because that is what is going to be a winning idea. And the important stuff which I mentioned before is a domain research work. So before jumping into the conclusion of fixing a solution, you need to first determine you need to first do some field work. So that is your domain research work. So what you have to do is that first you need to like look into the problem statement and see what they are coming to tell. So for example, if I am asking you to, I have a problem of uh, forecasting few things, so I'm asking for a solution. So you will be like helping me to get a solution, ML based solution, so whatsoever, where I can forecast the prediction for maybe a rain or a thing. If I'm a shopkeeper, I need a forecast for my products, so you're presenting a solution through ML. So what you have to do is that you need to be in the shoes of your problem statement provider, and you need to think in this point of view, and that will give a clear insight of what the problem statement they're coming to that. So if you're solving a solution that is very specific to their company, you need to first go to their website and see what are the available features they have done so far right now for that, and what they're yet to do, and you need to like also figure out what are the fault and features missing in their already existing solution or whatsoever. So you need to like go to their the organizer, not directly, I mean indirectly. You need to research through their websites and talk to the colleagues, if possible to the employees as well. So they will give you a very a vague idea of what is going on inside the industry. So if you're proposing solution that is well adaptable to their industry, definitely that will be considered as one of the best solutions you are presenting in a hackathon. So keep that in mind. And what are other things you can do is that you need to like talk to the domain experts. So you're a college student or a colleague, you have a very limited experience of the domain you're going to work about, so you definitely need to have some insights about what domain you are dealing with. So as earlier I said, if I'm going to deal with a crop related thing, I need to speak to an agriculture officer and ask him what is the current state and whatsoever. And if I'm going to work with a businessman, I need to like consider the facts and other factors that will be typically affecting your solution. So if I'm going to do a forecast, and the seasons will be a very major factor that will be influencing my forecast. So like that, you need to interact with your experts and need to collect the required data from them. And surveys, and you need to definitely take a survey of whatever you're doing. So that will really help you in your future part of proving your solution. So suppose you are proposing a solution, you need some backup proof that your solution is the best and why it need to be adopted in their real life. So those surveys from the users, or maybe common public, or maybe the industry experts, or maybe anonymous surveys, that will be giving you the spit up facts of why the solution you are proposing is the best. As usually, as I said before, the collecting the feedback will also help you in your domain research purpose. So that will be, if I'm complaining that I'm not able to forecast a particular sales of a product, and you're going to talk with me, and I'll be saying the feedback that the seasons are making a very big fuss in my I'm not able to forecast properly. So that will be taking as one of the important point feature you need to be included into your solution. So by talking to the people or the people related to the domain will definitely give you a very big large insights for your product. So you can also talk to the experts, mentors, and everyone. So this is one of thing is that this is very important for the submission of the solutions. So I will jump into the how the hackathon typically works. So first round of the hackathon, you'll be submitting an abstract to the organizer. They'll be reviewing the abstract of your solution, and if they see your solution kind of meet their requirements, you'll be shortlisted to the finals or the second round of the hackathon. So solution drafting is what the consequences of and the result of whatever you did for your domain research. So that is going to reflect entirely into the solution draft. So what you need to typically include in a solution draft is that you need to mention what is the typical problem you identified from the problem statement. So it can be a problem statement, can be a very big kind of a clumsy sentences or maybe. So you need to pick up what they are really trying to say and what is their real problem, and what is the existing work that is already there to solve that problem, and why that existing work is not meeting their requirements. So you need to mention that. So that will also help you to find the features for your proposed solution. So you need to propose a solution of, I'm going to propose a solution for this and this problem statement, so that it will be helping you to solve the problems. And you need to mention that why your solution is a very new one. So novelty refers to the new one. So a novelty is a very big factor in hackathon. So you need, if the solution is already existing and you're taking the solution and present to the hackathon, typically your solution is not going to be the best. So you need to propose and add a few features, or completely propose a new solution, so that your idea stands out of the crowd in the hackathon. And the technology use. So your whatever solution you are drafting right now, it's not completely going to be your entire solution till the end of the hackathons. There'll be multiple changes throughout the stage. So you'll be like, if you're the high level technology is that, so if they're asking a dashboard, you can say that I'm going to build a dashboard using maybe a web developer stack like Mean Stack, Mern Stack, or Django framework, and so on. So you can just give a very, very slight overview of what the technology you're going to be using. And the next is economic feasibility. So this is an important factor that everyone misses. If you are proposing a solution and if that is not able to feasible in the economic aspects, so who is going to invest in your solution, or who is going to buy your solution? So if you're building a solution that is costing you around a lot of things, so I think just a second, I'll be Maitreya, is everything all right? So we can continue.
Cool. Yes, Vivek, everything is fine.
Okay, fine. That is just I want to make sure that the thing goes properly. So the next thing is that I'll share my screen again. Yeah, okay, fine. So you need to make sure that you give a solution that is economically feasible, because no one wants to buy a solution that is very expensive and that cannot be incorporated in your industry or whatsoever. And your solution must also have a very big social impact. And prototype preparation, this thing is going to be helpful for your hackathon stage, because you'll be like you're not going to prepare the entire product for the hackathon. Keep that in mind. You're going to only prepare a prototype to show that this for your problem statement I'm proposing a prototype, a solution which typically solves a core problem. You need to only mention that. So you can as everything as mentioned, so you can't build an entire product in 36 hours. So that to make sure that it eases you in your preparation stage, you can keep a boiler code or code templates. For example, if you are building a software development project, so you can also keep a login page and ready for your application, because it is anyway going to be included in application. So you can't spend your time building a login page. So you can, instead of that, you can prepare a login page in your beforehand, and you can only focus on the core aspects of your dashboard in a later stage of your solution. And thing is, experiment. And that is what I have been mentioning from the as in the previous slide. So there will be multiple changes in a hackathon. You need to improvise based upon the feedback you get. So you need to like keep improving your solution every day. And this is one big thing you need to keep your mind. You need to trust that your solution is the best, because there might be a solution where a situation where people come and say the solution is already existing, or maybe this is not a very good solution or whatsoever. So but never get mentally low by hearing those comments in hackathon or whatsoever. So you need to trust that your solution is one of the best, but do not keep that ego level. But you need to like be open to ideas and feedbacks to make sure that you improvise your solution to make it the best of among all, so that this thing will be helping you to win the hackathons. So the stage 2 is the hackathon participation. This is a general section of the final round of your hackathon. So what you'll be doing is that you will be like, first thing you need to once you are settled for the hackathon, so you'll be all the teams will be asked to come and give a 1 minute idea pitch, where you need to like pitch about what is your solution and why you are doing that in less than 1 minute. So pitching the idea, you can prepare that before itself. And the second thing is, once that is all done, you'll be asked to start code or develop a solution. So I'm just talking about a 24-hour hackathon structure. So the first 8 hours you'll be asked to code. You'll not be entirely coding continuously for 8 hours. So you'll be taking breaks, and they'll be conducting events to keep you engaged and active throughout the session. And once that is done, you'll be having your review. So this is where the important thing comes. So while building your solution, there might be multiple mentors present in the hackathon. So they'll be helping you to guide you to give a insight of your hackathon. They'll be giving you feedbacks. Make sure you note that. And next comes your first review, where the typical review committee comes and reviews your hackathon. So at the end of the 1/3 of the hackathon, what is the solution you have built so far, and what you're trying to build in the further section of your hackathon. So they'll be noting down the progress, and also they'll be giving out a suggestion that you need to incorporate in the next review. So this is why I have told that you need not build your entire product and go to the hackathon. You need to only build the boiler code. So whatever changes they are telling, you need to make sure that you adopt those changes in your solution. That can be only done if you're building a solution on the hackathon, on the day of the hackathon. So that really matters. So the second 8 hours will be going on, you're improvising your hackathon, and you'll be incorporating the feedback that is given to you. And during the second review, they'll be like monitoring if you had incorporated whatever the changes they have told you, and so on. So how is your progress going on, and how you're approaching your solution and whatsoever. So now comes the second review. Typically this goes on, and there might be a third review that depends upon the hours available, or maybe the hackathon structure. So there might be a third level of review as well. So once that all the reviews, the review committee will be consolidating the results and they'll be selecting the top teams. So for example, if you're participating in a hackathon, there at the finals there are 100 teams, they'll be selecting around 20 teams for the final presentation. Now comes the important part. You need to present your solution as if you're making your business pitch. Imagine that the review committee is your startup or investors or the interviewer you are going to deal. So you are going to give you the amount for your startup or maybe the placement offer or whatsoever. So if you're doing your pitch well, you're going to definitely give a price. So the 60% or 70% of your solution, whatever you build throughout the hackathon, depends upon the 30% of the presentation you do right now. So you need to have a very clear idea of presenting the hackathon and make sure that you incorporate all whatever you have did throughout the hackathon as well. So once that is done, they'll be announcing the winners. Obviously, they'll be selecting the thing. What do you have to do before the night of the hackathon? You need to sleep well and relax, because you need to you're going to physically and mentally exhaust yourself for next 24 hours. So make sure you sleep well. And on the day of the hackathon, as I already said, you need to listen to the mentors, reviewer committee, and everyone. And the most important thing is the networking. You need to talk to the other teams, ask about what the solution they are building. You can interact with them. You can also give them suggestions, and you also get to know about how people are approaching the problem. That doesn't mean like you're stealing their ideas. That is kind of an interaction. So you can also interact with the review committee, mentors, and organizers as well. So that will give you a very big of contacts list. As I mentioned already, the presentation of a solution matters more than the solution itself. So I have seen teams who have built a normal solution, but their presentation is very good. They had won a prize in a hackathon. So that happens a lot of times in a hackathon, actually. So you need to have a strong solution, but you need to have a very strong skills to make sure you present that solution in a better way, such that you attract the reviewers and the business committee, reviewer committee, whoever present there. So the third stage is that the post-hackathon. Once you are present at the hackathon, you're winning, prize distribution is all over. That doesn't mean the end of the project and the hackathon. You need to keep improving your solution. So if you keep improving your solution, that will help you to the further hackathons as well. And also you need to keep in touch with the people you have networked with. Probably there might be 2 to 3 weeks after the hackathon, there might be a recruiter reaching out to you, or maybe the team you had worked with. You can also collaborate with them in your future hackathons as well. And another important thing is that you need to always receive the certificate. I have made a little typo here, that is from the organizer. You need to present a proof of submission from your organizers to make sure that you have attended the final hackathon and so on. So I think I have almost covered everything that needed to be, but I will explain that what the typical doubts you have in your hackathon participation. So the first thing is these are the FAQ I always come across with the people. So I will just mention them and what is the solution I'm going to give. So the first thing is, I have no programming knowledge. Can I participate in hackathons? Yes, you can absolutely do. A hackathon is not about the programming languages, or you need to develop a software solution. It can be hardware, or it can be an idea level hackathon alone. So if you're not having a programming knowledge, that is well and good, but you need to give a solution to the problem. So if that doesn't require programming or any other stuff, that is well and good. So, or else if you have if your team members are having programming knowledge and you're going to be a presenter or maybe another kind of guy, that is well and good. And a second thing is, I can't find the right teammates. So this is one of the thing I often hear, because they can't find the people who are as motivated as you to come and participate in the hackathon. So the people might be in your college. You can go find them always, or maybe through LinkedIn, or there is a provision in hackathon platforms where they match you up with. You can send out a requirement and people will strangers can collaborate with you. So that really happens, and usually you find a very good team members you are matched with. So that is also a very good one. You can also, if you are selected to the final level of stage of hackathon and yet you don't have a team member, You can also find your team member at final stage as well. So, but don't keep delaying like that. So you can beforehand make sure that you have a team members and you meet the eligibility criteria. How to find time to prepare for hackathon despite my busy college and professional work? Yes, as I mentioned earlier, I had participated in over 60 plus hackathons. So I will say my experience of how did I find time. As every college, typical college students, usually we push our exams to the night before the test, right? So if you're having internals every once in a month, so you have 3 weeks of your time in your hand. So make sure you can just put out at least 1 hour or so per day, or maybe like around 2 to 3 days per week. That is well and good. You can utilize your weekends and your leisure time, because you're investing in something that is going to reap out a very big benefit, right? So there is nothing wrong. Where can I find authentic hackathons? As I said, Mamiya, there are many platforms which are already very good at organizing. You can always reach out to the organizer to make sure that everything is well and good. Whom can I choose as a mentor? So if you're doing a project and you need a mentor, so you can always reach out to the people in LinkedIn or your college professors, or maybe a domain expert you're reached out about, and so on. So what should I do if the organization doesn't give travel reimbursement? So what you have to do is that you need to spend and go to the hackathon, because that really matters. So it is kind of an investment. So in most of the hackathons, you will be receiving a reimbursement. If not, if you are selected to the finals, definitely go invest and go to the hackathon and participate, because what you're going to get there at the final stage is more and more important than what you're going to spend here. And the another thing is what I have typically heard from a lot of people. I'm coming from a tier 2, tier 3 college and city. How can I compete against a student from top colleges and professional from top tech companies? I am a student who is from a city called Sivagasi. Maybe if you're from not from Tamil Nadu, you might have not heard about it. So that doesn't mean that you are not you are well behind in your skills. You are as much as competed as any people who are from the top colleges or the top tech companies. You need to only believe in your solution and the time and efforts you have put in. So that is the thing. I want to turn my hackathon idea into a startup. What should I do? And look out for the business and related people in your hackathon itself. So they might be interested in your solution and they might invest in you. If not, you can also present these hackathon solution in startup weekend or in startup related tech competition as well. So that will definitely fetch you a investor in for your solutions. So I will come back to I'll be now active for you to shoot your questions so that I can help you out throughout the process. So I'm now stopping my screen sharing.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Vivek. It was a wonderful session. You started
Great.
from how to choose a hackathon to the entire process of various steps involved and how you should decide your problem statement. All these things were detailedly discussed, and also the research you do in the specific problem statement is quite important, as you said, and that's
Yes.
how you actually stand out from others submitting. And I could relate many things from your speech that I did, and it's very, as you said, pitching is also very important, as important as what you do. That's
Yes.
what actually comes. Those things are fine. And all the I guess many people who are there the entire time. If you want any
Wow.
questions to be asked, please ask Vivek. And one question that I have is, what is your favorite problem statement that you have solved in one of the hackathons?
Okay, so I would say that one of my first winning solution that I have presented to the hackathon. So it was presented at CIA Technological Quest. So at that time for the problem statement, I never knew about the technology. It was my I was studying third semester. That is my second year of my college, and it required a machine learning solution. So at that time, I had no knowledge about machine learning. So what I did was I presented a simple solution, a solution for forecasting their products and so on. So but after that I quite learned the technology and I presented it, and I also like won the third place for that. So always first winning is always special to everyone, right? So I had some that was the start to my machine learning career as well. So I think that was my favorite problem statement, and I always cherish it till now.
That's great. So if you participants, if you have any queries, please put it in the comment section so that it can be answered. Hmm. Let's wait for some questions.
Sure.
Okay. So we have one. I'll just a second. One question is there. I'll just post it over here.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have seen most of the hackathon needs prototypes as solutions. So where can I find idea-based hackathons? So idea-based hackathons are called ideathons, IDEATHON. So if you're searching for ideathons specifically, you'll be getting idea-based hackathons. So I guess that almost hackereth.com and other websites, usually they also have ideathons. Also, idea matters till the last stage of your hackathon. So if you're the guy who has you are presenting an idea, you can give it to a team members and they can work on it. So that doesn't mean you need to like only participate in idea based hackathon. You can also participate in general hackathons where you can be the guy who is orchestrating the entire process of idea till the end of the process. So I think that would be enough. So if you are searching for ideathons, you will get the required things for your as per your specifications.
Okay. That's fine. I hope the answer is clear. And
Okay.
is there any tech stack that you actually prefer to work on?
Tech stack. So I have almost worked on ML related stuff. So I would always prefer a Python solution. So also I had a point. So you need to give a prototype for a solution that is user friendly, because the reviewer or the person who is coming to your panel may not have a technological based expertise. He might be a business related guy or a guy who's looking for an idea. So if you are presenting a user friendly tool for him to access your solution, that is one of the best solution you can ever present in a hackathon.
Okay.
So if you're just building a ML based hackathon, you need not only do that. You can build a web app or maybe a user interface, so that gives a special standout among the other ideas. So
Yeah.
that really matters. So coming to your question, tech stack. So Python is always my the programming language I choose upon for all my stuff. And for the requirements of web application, I go with Django because it is Python based framework. And
Okay.
for deployment of my solution through cloud and so on, so I started learning cloud related stuff, and that's how I came across GCP, Azure, and AWS. I work in all related tech stacks. So I think this will be enough for you to like present in any hackathon.
That's great. Okay. So we have another
Right.
question.
Hello, Arun. So in hackathons, would you be expected to build scalable solutions? You need not necessarily build a scalable solution. Your idea need to be scalable, but the prototype you are going to build must at least contain the features that is solving your core problem. For example, if you're going to do a forecast problem, you need to definitely find a forecast feature. You need to be included in your hackathon, in your solution. It need not be scalable because that is only a prototype. Further, after posting hackathon, you can also sit and work and improvise your solution. So in your hackathon, you need to only focus on the main features you need to incorporate within that time. That will be helping you to say that solution is solving the problem statement. Yes.
Okay. I hope that answers. Yeah, but you should be having the idea in your mind whether how you
Yes.
could going to scale. That thing is quite
Yes.
important. Yeah, that's fine. And one more question from my side is, how important is it to have a diverse team in your while working in hackathon?
Diverse team is what going to be a very big factor because if you're I will mention different type of diversity. So if you're having gender related diversities, if you're combining with them, solving social related problems will be a very big kind of help, because they'll be giving their own kind of your problems there, like. So that will be one thing. And next thing is diversity in the tech stack using. So if I'm a machine learning engineer and I'm collaborating with people who is working in a web development stack, so that will be giving a big boost to my team. So the diversity in tech stack is also important. And I think working in a diverse team will help you to look out for more ideas for your solution and work together.
Okay, that's correct. Okay, thanks for that. I hope, is there any other question from the audience? Also post. So we have also shared the feedback form. So please do give your feedbacks so that we can evaluate on ourselves. And I hope, is there any other question? We have another minute or two before we wind up the session. Unless, yeah. Okay. I hope we can conclude the session, Vivek. So
Great.
thanks a lot for joining. And I hope
Sure.
all the participants learned a lot from your experience and all the things that you have been through. And one last thing, how do you
Okay.
because many online hackathons are happening right now. So is there any
Yes.
suggestion on how to proceed towards it and how to work on it?
So as I have been discussing only about mostly about offline hackathons. So coming to the virtual hackathons, every process is same, but only the final stage will be held at as a visual. So you need to first present your give a solution draft, and they'll be picking out the shortlisted teams. So that is same. And for the final presentation, we'll be giving out a window for you to prepare your prototype, and they'll be fixing out a particular time where you need to like present your solution through a video conferencing to make sure that your presentation is as effective as your virtual presentation. You need to make sure that you have demo related kind of stuff to make sure that the reviewers can relate themselves with the tool or the solution you're proposing. So demo is always recommended, and make sure you can present it to the reviewers in a very good style. And your presentation is 90% here. The presentation is what matters, not your solution here, because the more you present well and how you are expressing yourself, that is going to win your virtual hackathon. So presentation is a very key factor of virtual hackathons.
Okay, sure.
Great.
So it would be great that if you could share some of the links where people can join hackathons. So few of them have
Sure.
asked. We
Great.
can do it
Okay.
after the session also.
Okay.
So all the
Sure.
links, important links, would be shared with all the participants. And I
Great.
hope
Yeah.
we can end the session right now. Thanks a lot once again, Vivek. So hope to see you in some
Uh,
other session. And
sure.
we'll be
And
having up. Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, actually, I need to thank you for inviting me, because I had always wanted to talk on this topic, because I had been mentoring on a very small scale within my college students and other members, and I've been mentoring other hackathons team. But I think this giving me this platform will be helping me to reach out to many people. One thing is that you can also always reach out to me through LinkedIn. I'm always available, and you can find me as Vivek Raja PS in LinkedIn as well. Yes.
Sure. We'll also share your profile with others. So if you have any idea, if you want someone to mentor in your hackathon process, you can reach out to Vivek. And we have few questions. I guess we can take. Is it
Yeah,
fine?
sure. What are the languages should be known to develop an app? So it depends on what type of an app you're developing. So if you're going for a mobile based app, you need to have at least one person who is good at mobile development. Or if you're going for a web based app, as usual, you need to have someone who is having a experience in working in web development. And I think the typical language you can start with, one thing is that you can always go with Python. That is my personal favorite, and also it is very compatible with every other tech stack as well. So you can go with Python, and if you have very specific requirements, we can go for web development, that is React and so on. So will be like help you to build a very decent solution.
Okay. And we have one small request in the end.
Also, can you guys do a sample walkthrough through with a given problem statement? So
Okay. We'll try to do it in some other time in the future.
yeah, great. So I can also like mention a few aside. I can help you to how to figure out what is the problem statement they are trying to convey and so on. So I can give a live demo in other session. And also, Arun, if you can also reach out to me personally if you want to like have a help with how to walk through with the problem statement. I can help you out personally as well. So yeah, that sounds great.
Okay, fine. Yeah, I hope I have answered enough queries right now. And thanks a
Yes,
lot once again. And I hope we'll end the session. We are
great.
signing from Polydimensional. So Polydimensional is an educational platform. So if you have interested, you are a student and you want to share your knowledge with wider community, we act as a platform to do so. So we accept more people to join our community. And that's it from today's session. See you in upcoming session. Bye, Vivek, and bye everyone for joining.
Bye, everyone. Take care. Thank you.